Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to do a comparison between a full-faced snorkel mask and a traditional diving mask and snorkel system. My hope is that this helps you make a better purchasing decision. With the right information, you can achieve mask nirvana and get just the right mask for your future adventures. So let's get started. I recently purchased my Ocean Reef snorkeling full-face mask for a trip to Baja Califronia Sur for a snorkeling trip with a group of friends. Our goal was to take in as much snorkeling as we could in a variety of different locations. And in full disclosure, I haven't been doing a lot of snorkeling. It's something that I have wanted to do, and it's something that I hope to do a lot more of going forward. But I wanted to share some things that I learned through my experience on this trip. There are a number of reasons why I chose to purchase the full-face mask for this particular trip. And whether you're choosing a traditional diving mask or a full-face unit, during the era of COVID, it just makes sense to me to avoid using a rented mask and snorkel. And I understand that tour guides have implemented cleaning standards and disinfecting efforts, but it just makes sense to me to have and buy my own. Also, having your own mask and equipment allows you to find snorkeling adventures without having to rely on tour guides for equipment. With a little research, it's usually pretty easy to find locations where you can snorkel from the beach. This option can save a lot of money, particularly for larger groups. It takes a little bit of extra effort and research, but if your trip's going to involve multiple snorkeling excursions, you can save a lot of money, and it can be well worth it. Today I want to talk about 4 different areas of comparison: pricing, comfort, range of view, and durability. Now, whether you're looking for a full-face mask or a traditional mask and snorkel, the rule of thumb is that you definitely get what you pay for. You can find discount products in either type of mask, but trying to buy the cheapest thing you can find is probably going to let you down when you get into the water and start using your device. In my case, I paid about $100 for the Ocean Reef full-face mask. And if you're going to want to have a good experience with a traditional mask and snorkel, you should probably plan on spending about the same. I would say that the biggest difference, because of the way that the full-face mask fits an adult face, I was comfortable buying it online from a major retail provider. For the purchase of a traditional mask and snorkel, I would suggest it would be best to go to a professional dive shop and get help being fitted for a mask that fits your face the best. With these masks, it's critical to get a good fit, and that can be done best in a dive shop with professional help. For comfort, I found the Ocean Reef full-face mask is very comfortable for me, and certainly more comfortable than a traditional diving mask and snorkel. I found that I experienced very little water penetration into the mask. Because of the design, what little water did enter the mask accumulated at the very bottom and was pushed out through the breathing valves during the normal breathing process. Fresh air enters through the top of the snorkel, in this case, goes over the top of the mask, which effectively eliminates any fogging that you might experience inside of the mask. So you're able to see extremely clearly through this mask. If and when there's any water buildup at all, it will accumulate towards the bottom and is pushed out through the normal breathing through the bottom vent. So you get air in through the top and your breath is exhausted through the bottom venting. For me, the biggest selling point for the full-face mask was comfort. I think one of the things people find off-putting, which keeps them away from snorkeling experiences, is discomfort with a traditional snorkel and mask system. Having a snorkel in your mouth can result in jaw fatigue and discomfort, and that's something that a lot of people experience, and they don't like it. There's also the experience of water intrusion into a traditional diving mask. When you're in the ocean, salt water can accumulate around your nose and cause discomfort. Also, a traditional mask and snorkel leaves your lips exposed to salt water, and that can be off-putting as well. All of these considerations are eliminated when you use the full-face mask option. I think that the comfort offered by the full-face mask system can result in a lot more people taking up snorkeling because it's way more comfortable for them to do it. Comfort also affects confidence. That is to say, the more comfortable people are when snorkeling, the greater confidence and better their experience. I'm personally much more likely to do more of it and enjoy it more using a full face mask option for surface level snorkeling. When I first started out, I was concerned about water intrusion into the mask, but what I found is the valve system of the Ocean Reef full face mask virtually prevented any water whatsoever from coming into the snorkel, even when I dove down under the water, and I could comfortably dive down 5 or 6 feet without any issues. Now, there are limitations and important differences between traditional diving masks and the full face mask like the Ocean Reef. Specifically, the full face masks are designed for leisurely snorkeling at the surface level. Because they hold a much greater volume of air, they're more buoyant than a traditional swimming mask and will tug at you and resist your attempt to dive deep. Also, with a traditional mask, you can expel air into the mask as you dive deep, and that will equalize pressure that's being placed on your face due to the compression of the mask. This is not possible using the full face mask because the valve mechanisms will expel air as you breathe. It's not possible to pressurize them. As for range of view, a full face mask is always going to give you a better field of view than a traditional mask and snorkeling system. It just has a much wider surface area and view space in the front. The full face mask has nearly a 180-degree field of view, and that's just something that a traditional mask can't deliver. As a result, the experience of the things that you see while snorkeling is very different, and I think better in a full face mask than in a traditional mask. So for surface level snorkeling, I think the Ocean Reef is hands down the better mask option. It's very comfortable, it fits well, and affords you great views. However, if I were seeking to free dive or dive deep, I would revert to a traditional mask and snorkel option, because these are just very different tools for different applications. Let's talk about durability. It's an important factor. Your traditional diving mask has less surface area in the view space. The lenses are very strong, and so they're going to resist scratches better than a full face mask option. Because you're probably transporting these items in your luggage, there's a lot of potential for damage or scratching, and the geometry of these devices are very different. If your full face mask snorkel section is damaged, you can't use it at all. But if your snorkel on your traditional mask is damaged, you can still use the mask and just replace the snorkel. So for a number of reasons, the traditional mask and snorkel is going to be far more durable than the full face mask option. So if you're just beginning to take up snorkeling, regardless of your age, you might have more comfort starting in a full face mask configuration like the Ocean Reef. As you get more adventurous and choose to be prepared to go deeper, maybe do some free diving or take up scuba diving, transitioning to a traditional mask or just adding a traditional mask and snorkel to your equipment list might make sense for you. So get out there, enjoy the water, and I look forward to seeing you on the beaches.
You gotta understand that we get one chance,